What do you do if one of your hens goes broody? Is there anything you can do about it? And do you want to do anything about it? We'll discuss that question and many more. Well, maybe not many more, coming right up.
So, welcome back, Eric.
Yeah.
How was the time away?
Well, I didn't have to be by you guys, so it was pretty good.
Do anything fun?
We did. Actually, one of the best things, we took a train over to Colorado, so that was first time I'd ever done the train thing. I would recommend it 100%. Anyone who's wanting to do that, good time. So
awesome.
Yeah. I don't know how great it is to be back, but I'm here.
Well, welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah.
I can tell. I watched the videos. All right. Well, before we get into our discussion about Broody hens, wondering if we have an update on the Coyote situation at Steve's house.
Yeah, so still at large. No progress made. Has been confirmed. I actually did get eyes on that guy. Heard the dogs barking one morning, grabbed the rifle, went out down by the coop, looking back across the field along the tree line. I saw him just peek his head out. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can get that rifle. I can get a round chambered and up to my shoulder in a second and a half, and he was gone. So he's experienced hunting the farms. He knows what he's doing. So we've decided to go with a live trap, or got one of those ordered. It just came yesterday, so we'll get it set up, and hopefully we'll take care of that. In the meantime, I have gone through and mown that field down, kind of cleaned up the tree line, make it a little less easy for him to sneak up.
Okay.
He's got to cross open ground now, so we'll keep you updated if we have any change. But right now he's still out there, but I haven't lost any more birds.
Oh, that's good.
Well, haven't you watched the videos about the people, the wild animals come up and they feed them and become friends with them and they become a pet? So bring them on in.
Yeah.
You'll be friends with your chickens.
Yep, wolf puppies.
Good luck.
Pet the furry cow too. When you go to Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Well, often we'll take a moment before discussing our main topic and we'll reply to a comment from a viewer. So thank you, everyone who provides comments. We love it. Yeah. Questions, comments, great. Keep them coming. So today our main topic answers a question received from Tony Dennis 292. So thank you, Tony. And Tony says, my chickens keep trying to hatch eggs and she's never been fertilized by a rooster. What can I do to break this?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
So, to begin, before I ask you about breaking a broody hen, first of all, how about you tell us what broody means? Because it kind of sounds like a British word, broody, right? Mary Poppins or something?
Spotted tea. Governor.
Can you do the entire video like that, please?
No, I can no. Please don't.
So tell us what broody means and why it's a big deal.
All right, so a broody hen is one that has decided it's time for her to sit on a clutch of eggs and try to hatch some chicks. And she'll sit on those eggs to incubate them, and during that time, she's not laying any eggs. So that can be an issue if you're keeping chickens for eggs. And she's also, during that time of sitting those eggs, not really taking care of herself, right? She's not getting as much food, getting as much water, so it can affect her health and cause a lot of stress in that bird, which can also affect egg production further on down the line. So
right, and that problem only gets compounded when those eggs aren't fertile, right? Those eggs are never going to hatch.
Right.
So, but she'll continue to sit there and go without food and water, skip the dust baths, those types of things. And so it becomes an issue because she doesn't want to leave. She wants to stick with it. So really the only time you want a broody hen is if you actually want her to sit on some fertile eggs and get them hatched. Otherwise, broodiness is not something that's going to be good for the hen or for your flock,
right,
and your production.
Okay, so how do you know if a hen is broody?
Okay, well, there are some warning signs that you can catch a little early on, and that'll help. Feathers, right? She'll start plucking out some of those feathers sometimes, even out of like her belly, to kind of give her that area where she can do that. She'll line the nest, make it kind of softer so she can regulate that temperature. So if you see bare-bottomed, bare-bellied hens, that's a good sign that she's looking to be broody.
Yeah, other signs include things like she's just not eating normally. She's not out with the flock when they're outside. She doesn't come when you bring treats out there, and she normally would get excited and do that. That's a big sign too. Probably the most noticeable thing is she's staying in the nest box. She's acting defensive, and if you get close, she'll kind of growl at you and peck at you and ruffle up her feathers. So yeah, those are all signs that your hen might be broody.
So this, you might talk about this later, but so you say that if your eggs aren't fertilized, how long will a chicken sit there and lay or sit on eggs? Forever? I mean, at what point do they give up?
I've heard of them going as long as 35, 40 days when an egg normally hatches in 21 days.
Yeah.
And they're just going to keep at it because they think those eggs are eventually going to hatch, but they never will if they're not fertilized. So.
All right. Well, what are the first steps you should take to break a hen of broodiness?
Well, I think the first step you should take is probably removing the eggs. If you remove the eggs, she doesn't have eggs to sit on, so that might discourage her a little bit. Now, keep in mind, she's going to be a little aggressive. She's going to be pecking. So if you try to remove those eggs, maybe it's a good idea to wear some gloves and kind of protect yourself. And another thing you can do is just remove her from the nest box. You know, when the flock comes outside to forage or to eat, just take her out and put her with the rest of the birds and kind of get her in her normal routine. That might help.
Yep. Sometimes, though, she's determined, so she'll just turn around and head right back inside.
Yep.
Which means your next option is you close that nest box off. If she's got a favorite spot where she likes to sit, make it inaccessible, right? Put something in front of it, cover it so that she can't get there.
Right.
Now, she may just go find another spot, but that might be enough, to persuade her to maybe, hey, let's do something else.
Yeah.
And so, in your experience, do these things usually work?
Mixed bag. It depends upon how broody she is, how determined she is. If she's just thinking, oh, maybe, then that might help. If she's really determined, those typically aren't going to be enough. You might have to do something more.
Yeah.
So kind of like I'm at the car dealership. It's like, hey, give me your best deal. Oh, it's this. And then, no. Well, I can knock off another $400. So
Right.
If those steps don't work, what are the next steps?
Right. Well, you can make the nest boxes uncomfortable. You can remove bedding. You can block access to all the nest boxes. The problem with doing something like that is you've got other hens. It's not really fair to them. They want a place to lay their eggs, and you want to collect those eggs from them. So a better option is just to remove her from the coop altogether and place her in what we call chicken jail. Similar to what you would do if you had a bully hen or something like that going up. So taking her away from the problem.
Yeah, but you want to make chicken gel solve the problem, not exacerbate it, right? So
Right.
chicken gel isn't like her regular house. There's no bedding material.
Right.
There's nothing for her to make a nest with. She doesn't want to just have her own private place. That's perfect. She's like, oh, great, I got my own little private room.
Yeah, a nice quiet place to nest and
But
sit on eggs.
if there's no bedding material, nothing to nest in, that kind of stuff, you're picking up the eggs constantly, that might be enough to help convince her that, hey, maybe this isn't the great idea. Keep her there for at least a week.
Yeah.
Kind of watch. You can put her back, kind of see, hey, has that helped? Is she returning to that broody behavior? Sometimes it can take up to 3 weeks, right? That's basically how long she's normally going to sit those eggs.
Yep.
So you're going to kind of have to experiment and see how long it takes to break her of that. And even still, sometimes I ain't going to be broke.
Right.
And if that doesn't work, what's your final offer?
My best and final offer on
Right.
this is to find some fertile eggs.
Yep.
You know, if you know some folks who have roosters in their flock and they have fertile eggs, or you can order them online, get them in a couple days, and let her hatch them. It may not be what you want and what's best for your goals and your needs, but it might be the only thing that's going to break her of it.
Yeah, and sometimes I see people, they'll get like day-old chicks from somebody. Hey, has anybody got day-old chicks? They'll grab a couple, they'll go out there, take the eggs, put the chicks underneath her,
Yep.
and let her kind of do that for a few weeks and then give those chicks away, right, because I didn't want them. But maybe that's enough to cycle her and kind of break her of that habit.
Right.
So.
So what do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So why don't
That
we
was
just,
Ben Franklin who said that, right?
if you want to give him credit, go ahead. So why don't we just prevent this in the first place? Prevent them from going broody. How do you do that?
Well, that's ideal, is to prevent it from happening in the first place. And the way you can do that is to select chickens, select breeds that are less likely to go broody. In the development of chickens, one of the characteristics that people have often tried to breed into these chickens is laying more eggs, more productive with the eggs, right? That's what we want from them. Well, typically when that happens, they're breeding the broodiness out of them. So if you get those breeds of chicken, you're less likely to have a hen that goes broody.
Yep, these high-lighter production strains are not nearly as broody as some of your old heritage breeds. The other thing is just stay on top of the eggs, right? Go out there and collect those eggs every single day, sometimes multiple times a day if need be. If there's no eggs for her to sit on, that makes it harder for her to want to go broody. But when she walks through and there's just a nest of eggs sitting there and has been for days, she's like, that looks like a pretty comfortable place to sit.
Yep.
Mama wants some babies, so staying on top of the eggs is going to help with that too. But a big one is going to be just selecting the appropriate breed.
All right. Well, as always, I learned a lot today.
Well, good.
You guys probably didn't, but thanks for teaching me. How about you? Did you learn something today? Or is there something that we missed that you might want to put in the comments? Or if you have a question about anything, throw them in the comments. And as always, thank you everyone for subscribing. We love seeing that number go up. You're awesome. And if you made it this far, give us a like.
Yeah.
And as always,
Keep on hobby farming.